We're in the offices here in West Hollywood City Hall with Abbe Land, who is one of the 5 city council persons on what is the most progressive city council in the entire country.
We like to think so.
We like to think so. Yeah, and when I come here to West Hollywood, I'm always just, and I read about what West Hollywood's doing, I'm just, really impressed. And yet, the medicinal marijuana is part of health care. The voters of California determined that it's okay, and it does provide tremendous benefits for a lot of people. West Hollywood seems to have recognized that for a long time.
Yes, well, I think in this city, in our community, and many other communities in California, that referendum passed because people recognized that there was a need for other approaches for folks who had chronic diseases, and medical marijuana has been proven, to ease to really help folks going through maybe chemotherapy and dealing with chronic diseases, HIV, etc. And so we were supportive of that initiative and supportive of people's rights to access marijuana for medicinal purposes.
And that's one of the things Proposition 215 says the state government's supposed to work to make it accessible, and they've really fallen down on that. It's been like local communities like West Hollywood that's kind of picked up what the state should have been doing.
Yes, we have, and it's problematic. It's one thing to say that you want to do it, and then, when you start, there are just many, many things to consider. And, I think we as a city, candidly, are finding our way as to what is the right balance and how do you make sure that facilities that open are facilities that are providing the best quality, the best care, and doing it in a way that's meeting the needs of the community and of the legislation. And how do you deal with people who take advantage of legislation that's meant to do well, and and everything has a plus and a minus.
So is the ordinance that the city of West Hollywood drafted and passed, is that the correct balance, do you feel?
We're currently relooking at that. We have some dispensaries that are located very close to residential areas, close to schools, and we're thinking that might not be the best approach. We're looking at the statistics, we're weighing the pros and cons, and we're evolving. We have a cap on the amount we have a moratorium right now so that we can deal with the existing facilities that we have and determine what is, we're 1.9 square miles, we're about 37,000 residents, although at any given time there's over 100,000 people in our community, but nevertheless it's a small community, and what is the best number of dispensaries and how do you have them so that they're good neighbors, not only to the residents but to fellow businesses. And so we're trying to determine that, and that's why we have a moratorium right now on additional dispensaries, and we're really taking a look at it and getting some community input.
The city of Oakland issued a report about half a year ago. I don't know if you've seen that report or not. It was their 4 dispensaries, and the conclusion of the report was basically they're performing a very valuable service, and they have they've been no drain on city or police services, and in fact they were so encouraged by it they went ahead and authorized a 5th dispensary to open. Has the dispensary been working out well here in West Hollywood?
Well, first of all, you have to recognize Oakland is a lot bigger than West Hollywood, and we have more than 5 dispensaries. So I think it's in a sense not comparing apples to apples. But with that said, we have had some problems, and we are dealing with them. This is a community that I believe wants to solve those problems in a way that works. It's not about finding ways to not make it work, and that's a very different approach. Like anything, when you are trying something new, then it depends on how you approach it. And we are, the council, and I believe the majority of the community want to make sure that we have medicinal marijuana available for people who need it. And so when we hit a wall and when there is a problem, and we've had some dispensaries that have closed, our goal is, okay, how do we make it work? Whereas I'm sure in some areas it might be, how do we close it down? And that's not where we head. And so, we're trying to find our way.
Yeah. The LA, have you been with the Los Angeles County ordinance that just got passed by the LA County allowing medicinal? That ordinance is a little different. It sort of takes, but one thing that's always interested me is that it allows on-site consumption, but West Hollywood doesn't do that.
No, we don't currently. We didn't think that was the best approach. We felt that people like going to, I believe, as we set it up, we try to think about it as medicine. Mm-hmm. And as you would go to the drugstore, you usually don't consume most of your meds at the drugstore. You know, you tend to wait till you go home or whatever. And so it was our reasoning that we would set it up like that. Yeah. And again, we're looking at what is the best approach, because we want to make sure we are, regardless of what business you open here, there are some constraints on all businesses. We don't have enough parking. You know, we're fairly landlocked. Everything abuts, for the most part, a residential area. I think in Oakland, a lot of some of those dispensaries aren't right close to residents. No. But in this city, we're very linear, and it's very hard to have separation, and so we have a different set of circumstances, and it's for any business, quite honestly, that we have to deal with that. And these dispensaries are the same. You know, they sometimes generate traffic. They might not be parking. Where are people parking? You know, and so we struggle to figure out how to have the best relationship between our business community and our residential community.
Well, like 7 dispensaries, like you said, the city is only 37,000 people. 37,000 people probably don't need 7 dispensaries, so you must be pulling a lot of people from the surrounding area.
Well, probably because there's not a lot of dispensaries, and so hopefully with the LA County ordinance, that might give the ability of dispensaries to open in other areas. It would be nice if people didn't have to travel great distances to get the medicine that they need. Yeah. I mean, you know, if we would look at it as medicine, and if more people would recognize that this is what we're doing, but as in anything, you know, there is always abuse. I mean, you know, and try as you might. I mean, I think that's the challenge of the dispensaries, and it's the challenges of cities and the county, is how do you make sure that the people who truly need it are getting it, but for someone who just thinks, oh, great way to get some marijuana, you know, how do I play the system to get it? Those are the ones that spoil it for everyone, and we don't want to see that happen.
Yeah. That's like any drug, any medication can be abused by some people. That doesn't mean the people who can use it shouldn't get it.
Well, exactly. It's, you know, I mean, we have stores that sell liquor, you know, and so there are people who are over 21 that are entitled to get liquor, but there are also people who are over 21 who take too much, might come to the liquor store drunk, and that causes problems. Mm-hmm. There are people who are underage who might, you know, I mean, it's anything that happens, and so how do you regulate that? And you know, and it's a challenge with any kind of business like that.
How are the dynamics on the city council with this issue? Is everybody kind of foursquare behind it?
Yes, the council, all of us are very committed to being able to ensure that our residents and the people who, you know, live and work here get what they need. And, you know, we've all had personal experiences of knowing people who have had cancer or HIV or you know, ongoing chronic pain that have had tremendous relief and life-changing, you know, ability to cope in a different way when they've had access to, you know, medical marijuana. And so I believe that we all are very unified in trying to figure out how do we ensure access to that. But I do believe we are just as unified in wanting to make sure that we find the right balance, so that there are not nuisances created, that there are good businesses created. And I believe that many of the dispensaries that are located here want to do the right thing and provide the right service. They want it to be as legit as anything else.
You know, I looking at your vitae, I noticed you have been involved in so many causes and so many things, so I'm not surprised to see you're involved in working to see to this medicine is made available to people. I want to thank you so much for joining us here on the show. West Hollywood is a great city. If you've never been here, you should make the time and come down here and go down Santa Monica Boulevard or Sunset Boulevard. It's part of it.
Sunset and Santa Monica, come. You know, we've got great restaurants, great shopping, great places to stay. So come and have a good time.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.